that they put in a request, or the Abtzim put in a request to have a monthly shir in Geula, and he's waiting back to hear from them.
With who?
So that's the monthly thing. We want to have like a monthly, not shir, or things, topics, very interesting topics people will be interested in on a monthly basis. This is for anash.org. But we were discussing the Yemen.
He said he was going to speak to them.
Yeah.
Gershon was going to speak to them. Gershon asked him.
So the Bzusha was just on for a minute. He left and you came on. He said he copied him on the email for the request to anash.org. So he didn't hear back. Well, didn't hear the next step. He didn't hear back from them.
So what I'm saying is, I see that he's following it up, but I didn't hear of any response. I don't know.
Okay, so the shaila is what's the next thing, Reb Reuven? We were talking about the Yom Eon last time.
What we were. No, yeah, we had a meeting, a shtickle, but we didn't. We were going to finish. We figured out some. What did we figure out on our last meeting? If I guess what we figured out in our last meeting, then we said we're going to finish it in the Monday meeting.
We were supposed to have themes of what to talk about.
Yeah.
And Laser was supposed to come on. You know what? Can we see if we can get Laser on?
No, Laser told me he can't come on this week, and he's traveling.
He's bringing.
And he's not able to, and next week maybe not. I don't know. He's having a hard time. He's busy. That's good Sache. This didn't work last time.
I'm going to have a lot of background noise for the next little bits going. So, and I don't know, in the new version of Zoom, I can't figure out how to mute and unmute on the phone as easily as it used to be. So in the meantime, so I think we also said we have to come up with topics, 10 compelling topics that are eye-catching and interesting. And then we have to start. We really have to start just nailing down the chevra.
That's it. Shouldn't be too much. It's not.
We wanted to create this like bucket of literature about him, of solution about him, whatever it is, and we said we wanted to have this like let's say 3 literature, 3 sidisha, 2 svadisha, whatever it is, so that everybody feels represented. And make it happen. And start figuring out who are the best people to approach these Rabbanim and just get their approval.
So we have to set for ourselves a few dates right now. By when we have this list shouldn't be too of a bit, but it takes thought. It takes time for people to sit down together and to work out what are these compelling topics. We said, this is what we said. We're going to talk about it on Minatzchim, and we're going to let people chime in. But I think it would help if we have a little bit of a meeting with devoted just for this. Not Korotsky can become a big marketplace. We don't want it to become a marketplace. So maybe we should zoom in and have a series. Thing is, I'm a busy week this week. It's just Kislev and whatever. But next week, I have time to sit on a meeting and maybe a few chavre, and let's hammer this out. And let's also hammer out who other people. And then once we have within the next 10 days the people and the a list of let's say 15. We should have a list of at least 10 speakers. And from then, let's say we get what do we say, about 7, 8. Let's make at least 12 speakers, and get out there. Shouldn't be too of a big project to be able to reach to these people. You give them a kibbutz to give a share.
Sandy, I had to mute you because it was too noisy. I'm sorry. Here, I'll ask you to unmute.
So we can think of ideas now. I mean, we have to have Laser on. I mean, we can start, and then Laser can chime in. We can send them what we thought of. I think that's the best thing. We can send them an email. This is what we thought of.
It's not dependent on Laser. I thought just Laser would be a good would add a lot. That's
100%. 100%. I think no one else is coming on. I don't know who else wants to chime in.
Okay, Sandy, we could hear you.
Yeah,
let's.
By the way, I think it makes a lot of sense.
Do we really want to do 12? I think 10, unless our attitude is people are going to hop on, hop off. But if we're trying to encourage people to be on the whole time, I'm not sure 12 is a lot of speakers.
It is.
In one session.
But the point is, the more people you have, the bigger the draw is, however.
No, so what I think we can also do is we can have a whole bunch of names that are part of a panel. In other words, we have certain chevra that talk and certain chevra that are part of a panel. Are they either a question and answer panel or
the problem is it's going to be much harder to get panels going, to coordinate and who's going with who, and we're setting ourselves up for a much bigger challenge than asking someone to give a share and then you have someone come and record it.
But I think if we do the panel at the end and Stelzich works out, great. If it doesn't work out, we already had
you're saying the panels at the end, and you have like 5 Rabbanim on, and they're
5 Rabbanim, question answer, more in the Zoom fashion, and okay, great, thank you. So I think, and then you can put those Rabbanim on the flyer as well. And so you've kind of done you get their name without, in a sense, a long drasha from them. Just a thought. How on this new, what's it called? Do you mute yourself? Oh.
So I think it's important, by the way, to get out of the way the fears that people have about Mashiach. I think that's very important. That should be definitely 1 or 2 topics.
But if you bring up the topic, depending on who you're giving it to, you have to give a Lubavitcher that topic. If you're going to talk about the Yom HaDin or Gadol V'Anoida, you have to give it to a Lubavitcher, because if you can give it to a Sfardi, he's going to skid or whatever out of everybody.
I think, practically speaking, what's going to be with my business? What am I going to do when Mashiach comes? Am I going to go to work? I think that's, is my house going to come with me to Yerushalayim? And this is what the Rebbe, by the way, already said by Fabling, and he already bevarned these things.
This last parsha, Nun Beis.
It was talking this last parsha? I didn't go through it. You went through it?
No, Shuvi showed it to me on Shabbos.
So many of these things, and this makes it practical. I think the general topic is to make it as practical and as that it's a reality. That's gonna happen. Bepel mamish in this Elam Haza Gashmi Matamasar Tvachim. I think that should be the whole gang. At least most of it. No, what does everyone think?
Okay. The question is how do we, like, if we're going to allow
most of these Rabbanim, okay.
I'm saying if they're going to allow them to, as I said, if they were going to allow them to opine on these topics, then we have to be ready for them to say things. And the shaila is,
1 second.
I don't know, this is maybe a shaila for
you're going to do this in advance, right? Like last time.
Yeah,
but we can't take a guy. If the guy gives answers, and we can't cut out his main piece.
Right, and so the shaila is like,
we could say we're having technical difficulties.
Who says something? Somebody says something. I don't know. It says that we have a mucker for. It's just not our shita on it about it. About an Indian.
Yeah, that 4/5 of the Jewish people are going to die. I was in Bes Yaakov. I was having all the girls terrified of Mashiach when I was teaching them.
Right, no, but I'm not even talking about something that severe. That I think we can coach them
he's
back.
Saying it has to be addressed.
No, I think whatever. It doesn't mean like we can come back and say, the Mechilas Kvei Teras Hadav Goyim. we shift a little bit away from that negative aspect, whatever it is. I'm saying things like that. I'm sure, but the shaila is what happens if it's something with asvada, whatever it is. But the Rebbe's shita on it is different. Are do we look at the Hidivei side of this was things that Cheva said that were not 100% our sheet on it, but these were Rabbanan in a way. The shaila is whether the same thing is in this regard, or also are we going to get ourselves into a pickle where we ask a certain Rav to opine on something and they're going to do what we ask of them and we don't like their opinion on it, or their das on it. And then the shaila is what's going to be the policy in that regard. And you can, if you've asked our dog to do something like that, and then you don't walk away from it, the shaila is whether by then you've made
You've caused status.
So I'm saying we have to figure out what we want to do. Do you have the order? Excuse me.
Todd's looking to see where it is.
I have to go quickly.
I muted Sandy just for a second. That's a big problem, by the way. No? Ruven.
Yeah, I don't have necessarily the answer.
By the way, that if anyone wants a big boost, tomorrow the government is making a huge announcement. I don't know if anyone saw this on the news, that they've made a huge breakthrough in nuclear fusion, which is basically unlimited energy.
It came out, MS?
Tomorrow they're making the announcement. Yeah.
The US, you saying?
Yeah, the United States government.
Wow.
Today
How come I didn't see it
And
on
you're
any of my groups?
Kislev.
So why don't you post it? Post it. HaMashiach, Mamish, HaMashiach.
By the way, that's the one thing that could change
Yeah.
the whole world. Unlike anything else. I've been
I
waiting for
learned
that.
about it in the Maimer Mamish today. The Rebbe's Maimer. The Rebbe says Olam Amilua Nivra, that the Eibishter created on B'Shas B'Riyas Olam. So even though it's Amiluyah, but it's B'Hakbala, because he says Min Shemayim Ad Aretz Tofkuf Amma. But in the Pada B'Shalom Maimer, the Rebbe says, but through our avoda, that Allah HaPoideitz Lifneim, thirdly small of Mashiach, is that the Bria becomes believable. That's what the Rebbe says, that there's no more Hagbalus in Welt. And they're talking about energy believable in Welt.
Wow. Yeah, that's what they call it, unlimited energy. It's
Maybe we can juxtapose. If you send it out, we could put those two together. It'll be even more powerful.
I'll show you them out. In Tafshan Lamed Beis, the Pada B'Shalom Nashi, the Rebbe is talking about it.
Is that in this week's Dvar Malchus? Is Lamed Beis?
I don't know. I saw it. I saw it in the Titus Menachem.
So what does that mean, by the way? They're gonna give free electricity to everyone, just like they gave Wi-Fi.
It's not. It's so much bigger than that. Just by the way, because everything in the world has value. One of the biggest reasons why things cost money as much as they do is because of energy.
They don't have
because of energy.
The oil.
And when energy is free, then machines can do more because they can run for free, and it's kimat believable. So that's when things become almost free, like Medanim and Tzimka offers, like for real.
Wow. This is. Can you post it? Wow, this sounds.
I don't know. I don't know if they're ready to do it tomorrow, but they made a major breakthrough.
But it's the fact that it's being announced. That's the idea.
It's been. They say it's always 50 years away.
And when on Yutas Kislev, you say it's being announced.
The part was they said that the results were so good that it actually destroyed some of the equipment. They didn't expect such a powerful result. So some of the measuring tools were destroyed. So
I'm
take a little longer.
I'm taking a picture of the Rebbe's Maimer. I'm taking a picture of the Maimer.
Where was it? I don't. Why don't I see it on all the websites? The Frum are not there yet, huh?
No, you can do like CNN.
What was it?
Put in nuclear fusion.
Nuclear. Yeah, you're right. Right there, it comes out. It came out. I didn't even finish. Look at that. Hold on. Wow, fusion energy breakthrough by U.S. scientists boosts clean power hopes. Financial Times. Wow.
Label, weigh in over here. You're an expert.
Yeah. Where are we? Here it says, net energy gain indicates technology could provide an abundant, zero carbon alternative to fossil fuels.
Am I muted?
No.
Am I muted or not muted? Okay. All right. So the point is, it's a lot of bluff. I don't want to spill hot water on it, but they're talking about like a $3 billion machine that gave a little bit more than they anticipated. So that's what they're talking about. So the theory is, they made a breakthrough. They got more energy out than they put in, but it cost X billion dollars, and it wasn't as much as they had hoped. But that's the
point of it is the function on it's starting to become a reality.
Okay, just I think we have to be aware that the government speak. I mean, it sounds when you read the press release, it sounds Moradek, and then you look inside and you find out, well, it's like I said, it was billions of dollars invested, and they got a shtickle more than they anticipated, and so now it's a breakthrough, and the government looks great, and everybody should be happy. So that's I don't know,
fake news.
That's my take.
I think what's important, the Atzaminian, as Rabbi said, that this is the conversation going on. If it's already functioning or not functioning, that's already secondary. The Atzaminian, there is such talk in itself, is part of the process of the transformation of the whole world.
It does say, by the way, it says boosts clean power hopes. It says fusion energy breakthrough by U.S. scientists boosts clean power hopes.
Right.
Okay. So
something there.
Keep waiting. Yeah, but you're right. It's part of the conversation, and that's.
But there is one other thing, labeled that for many years they said that nuclear fusion energy is 50 years off, and now, even if it's not going to be powering our lives right now because of this breakthrough, but it's not 50 years off anymore. It's now here. It's just the beginning of it.
Can I share Chedushay HaMikvah Hain? In the mikveh. I'm thinking about the years. Sie gewinnen lolach, nicht kalte, nicht heiß. So, but then it could have very, I think it's a geschmack. 250 years since the Magid. Das ist doch näher, okay. But it's 224 years since Yutas Kislev of the Alter Rebbe. So I was thinking, 224, what's 224? So I'm angefangen, Dorach Koichav Miyakov. Dorach is 224. And Yaakov sagt der Rebbe in Parshas Vayishlach, v'hoye beis Yaakov eish, sagt der Rebbe, das ist der alte Rebbe. And beis Yosef geht auf den Friedinger Rebbe, beis Yosef geht auf den Rebbe. So Dorach Koichav Miyakov is since Yutas Kislev. And now we have already a power of 224 years. It's 250 from Magid. It's really, really, really big in Yonim. I think let's hope as bis morgen wird man schon sehen, Gott anders.
Amen.
Also derech,
but again, if you look at it in a Mashiach way, you have to look at it in a Mashiach way. They're not saying they're going to be using it for a bomb or something. They're using it for power. That's the way to look at it. There's another way. No?
That's very true, yeah. It used to be. It used to be for everything started out, to make.
I'm stepping off. I'm going to hop back on it in a few minutes. Just sorry.
So this is a nuclear power to use for energy. There's Mashiach right there.
It was originally used for war.
The old version is they split the atom. This one is two things come together, right?
Right.
That is the Torah became the tikkun. It comes together.
Fusion, not fission.
Right. Anyway, I didn't mean to move the whole conversation from the. I know we lost Sandy there, but we probably should focus back on the program.
Yeah, I think he's right. I think 12 people is going to be, and again, I don't know if it should be so long, each speaker, because it's gonna bore the people out.
But it's a Yom Iyun. It's
Maybe we shouldn't do a Yom Iyun. Maybe a Yom Iyun is good for the Bnei Yeshivas. Maybe we shouldn't do such a Bnei. Huh?
Arnaz, you can't say that now when Reuven's not on.
What do you mean? I'm just going through the motions here. We did already have Yom Iyun. Shaila is again. We want to get these topics to be clarified to people. Many people don't know what the concept of Mashiach is. That's what I'm saying. What it is and how it's a reality, and it's not something in the Luften, and it's not something it's gonna happen. No, I think that's the main thing that we should focus on here. That I think at least. I need anxiety. That's an emergency. You know what I mean? So if someone know what Mashiach really is and it's a reality, they'll want to learn more. They'll be excited about it. They'll want not. We want to make Mashiach something exciting, not something you hear Mashiach, you run away.
Can you give me a day or two in their WhatsApp groups? That's all I need. That's all I need.
Huh?
I need like a day or two in anybody's WhatsApp group.
Yeah, they're not going to give it to you a day. I don't know if they give it a day. No, what do you think? Listen.
Are you back with the audio?
I'm here. Yeah. I had a problem with my phone, with my computer. I don't know what's going on.
I wonder if we could do a coordinated effort where we do some sort of asking people questions that the Yom Iyun discusses in greater detail. But we can ask different people to answer the questions themselves. What does Mashiach mean? What is Mashiach? The concepts that we want people to have. Let's ask the questions to the people first. Have a guy in the street asking the questions, and then let it lead up to the Yom Iyun, who's going to discuss whatever we've been talking about for the last 2 months in greater detail.
Yeah, definitely. We need to know what's bothering the people, the fears and questions. 100%. I agree with that.
Remember, the original idea was to speak about things that are going to happen when Mashiach comes, and that will get people's minds thinking post Mashiach arrival. It's very exciting, and it makes it a reality, and it gives a person an anticipation. People have questions. Not all those questions are going to be so exciting.
I think that also can be addressed. Don't forget, if you're having 5 speakers, it can be addressed. My point is, I don't think it should be such a long, No, it should be very, very interesting and intriguing,
What if it's just that same topic? You might some Mashiach from everyone, and let every other person besides Lubavitch come and share that they give a crap about what's going to be, and we would care about it now, and it's something that's Taka is worth learning about and worth waiting for, and not just the end of it. The end of every Dvar Torah says also.
Valentin Gael. Yeah, I think we can all work this out. Yeah. So how do we go about this?
So Reuven was saying that we have to make a special meeting. I don't see why. Everybody who's on now would probably
the
be
meeting.
on.
Yeah,
exactly.
I having a problem, whatever.
So who's going to take the lead and cement these ideas down? I think last time we had a meeting and like the Minatzchim, I typed up a lot of things, and some of it we would be rehashing. It's the same stuff. I put the whole thing in the Minatzchim chat.
The list of people that we went through last week. So one thing would be to check with them and find the people that could speak on this topic, on the Yemais Mashiach, but on topic of Yemais Mashiach, and then we can start quickly, but we can think about how exactly to do it, and maybe get back with Mendy. What's his face? Mendy this way is that what we want to do is man on the street. We have a plan now. We want to ask questions now and build up a buzz to get to somewhere, not just to go forever on this particular topic. Could keep on going afterwards, but the strategy in my mind for the last 30 seconds that I've thought of this would be for the next until we're asking people the questions and that more will be discussed over there, and we can have someone go walk down Borough Park streets, walk down, I don't know what the other streets are. Someone in Eretz Yisrael can ask people on the street, what do you think it's going to be? What's it going to mean? There's been similar kind of asking questions once or twice in Eretz Yisrael with a lesson afterwards, that they've done some really cool things, the Tzivos Hashem people over there. There was a video passed around a while ago.
All in Hebrew?
Of course.
Maybe we could, can you get your hands on that and share it with us? And we could.
No way, I don't speak that language.
Oh boy.
I just remember it was really cool. If anyone else has some better memory of this.
If anyone's watching this later.
Things, what was being done, and then they would go in and have very nice videos about what will happen when Mashiach comes. But it's a question that most people aren't thinking of. We all say we want Mashiach to come, but what does that mean? What do you think is going to happen? Mashiach comes today, what's tomorrow?
Didn't they have that inside of the studio with kind of like small TV screens? It was all in Hebrew. Very, very professional.
Oh, right.
Wasn't that very similar? So we don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, that was very, very short. That was actually in less than a minute even. But it did do the same idea, Taki. They took different topics. Yeah.
Exactly. So the second step from this can be different, but the question and the discussion could be very similar.
And don't forget, if you're talking to an English crowd and an Israeli crowd, it could be different.
I want to tell you
not
something.
majorly different.
I love the idea of setting up each question or each topic by showing that there is a interest in it, and that also makes the point that it's not just Lubavitch that has questions and interests on Mashiach. So somebody, and I'm sure, like for example, Yisrael Goldstein, so if a man in Crown Heights or whatever it is, could hop onto the Borough Park bus just with his phone. You don't have to. You can point the phone or whatever it is, and stop. A few chevra and ask some questions. It shouldn't take a long time. One afternoon, you can collect probably about 15 to 20 different questions, and then that helps. That would also help us create the topics.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
I think
it
would be very good.
That's a great idea. It's not going to be expensive. We'll do it. I think that's a great idea.
I think this would be an easy
boots on the ground.
It would be an easy thing to ask a guy like Manis or Simon or even Yossi. Just what are the questions that make sense? You know that world. Yossi goes and speaks to the world all the time. So what are the questions that they're slightly shaykh to, and that can get the ball rolling by them? If anyone has that connection.
We can go around and ask questions over here too. I mean, it's not like.
Right. No, I was just saying to have a certain look.
No, 100%. I agree with you. That's exactly what I was thinking.
You can actually put on the bottom Borough Park or whatever it is, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a secular Jew, a primitive
Lakewood.
Each, yeah.
I think you're making that the point. Okay, Kevin, I'm sorry. I'm going to jump off again just because we got mute because we're in the next.
Thank you.
And Isaac, you're supposed to ask the hard questions, like how are we going to take it from the idea and make it practical?
That's Reb Zusha. If Reb Zusha doesn't do it, I try to put him at the sense. Okay, so I can call Goldstein. Tell him to do it. Yisrael Goldstein. He would love to do it. Do we have any questions you want to give him to ask, or he should figure out his own questions? I mean, I think I went through with.
Is he asking questions, or he's asking them for their questions?
No, he's asking them questions, and he's going to see the response. What's bothering you? Why you're not? Good questions. Is Mashiach to you a reality? Is it something that's going to happen? Something like that. Really get down to the nitty-gritty. We can write our own questions and ask him to ask it too. But I think it's a start. But you know what I mean? I think the Yom Iyun, again, is for the Chassidish crowd, for the Yeshivish crowd, which we already did. We did already one Yom Iyun. I think we should have more of a, taking the fear away of people of what the concept of Mashiach is. And this is across the board. Everyone has fears.
Separating them a little bit from Yami and the other, but along the lines of what you're saying, it'd be really cool to take like the question of, is it a reality by you? And having, I don't know, 20 people respond, and then giving that question to a Herschel Schechter and getting him to he gets 10 minutes to answer the question. And answer it like in a more complete way, and doing another question and giving it to a Lakewood guy and let him get like the answer after you have like 10, 15 answers, different people's on the street, and he answers that. And that can be a video series that goes out.
They do it. The JLI has that. It's called Rapid Fire or something.
Yeah, but they don't do it that they ask other people. They just ask the rabbis.
No. The people sitting there ask the questions, and then the moderator passes the question to the panel of 3 or whatever, 5.
So I just want to add in that to the people of the world, and then bring it to a panel like that. Yes, if we can get a panel of 5 people, they can be on Zoom also, but a panel of 5 Veltasher people with one of us, and answer all these questions. There's nothing is better than a Yamian with regards to the power of that. If you put the 10 questions and you have it with 100 people have answered this around the world, and now we put the panel to you, that would be a really cool discussion.
And how do we show this to people? How do we attract people to this?
We promote it. Excuse me.
As an event, and we have it pre-recorded.
Yeah, as a, I don't know that it would be pre-recorded. If it's pre-recorded, it can be probably better to be pre-recorded to take out any garbage in between and coughing like I just did. But you would promote it as a panel discussion and premiere it.
Right.
Simon Jacobson's thing. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, and then you can have leading up to it. You already have clips. You have the questions. You have a guy in the streets. You have 8 people that answer this, and then come hear how this guy, this Steen and that Steen answered it. Have you noticed I don't know anyone's names?
Did somebody say before that Israel made these kind of things?
Yeah.
There was a video I just saw recently that was what's going to be when Mashiach comes, asking people in the street, like they're driving in a car, talking about it with like not from people on the street. And then the video went into telling them how it's a reality and it's going to be with like video kind of switching to Yemais Mashiach type thing. I believe it was the Tzivos Hashem people.
So why can't we find out from them what they are doing? And if they do it, they just did one, or they're doing a series?
I don't think there was a continuation. What they did was they brought together like a basketball player, a famous basketball player, a famous coach or something. I don't know, different people, famous people, and they asked. And they were basically answering questions that people had, or it was made up questions, or people had questions. And it's a very short thing. It's like each person got like, let's say, 20 seconds, maybe. Very short. Mandy, right? Correct?
The questions were short or the answers were short?
The answers. They were answering a question, which means it was on the video. Huh?
It was very short. It was on the Minatzchim. We shared it, and we had the guy on, I think, who was doing it.
This is the guy who then spoke to us that he wants to do the status, etc. That's what he's doing. I haven't seen much of him. He was supposed to.
He did it then. It was a whole series. It's very beautiful. In a studio, it was very professional.
How many did he make?
A lot.
Yeah.
Probably 20, 15, 20. Yeah. I can probably go back and look for it in the group.
But again, this is a lot of money. He put in a lot of money. What we're doing, I think it makes a lot of sense, money-wise. It doesn't cost a lot of money to go on the street and ask people questions and then answer them. But then the problem might be is, okay, the truth is, if you're asking questions, this is something which many people have. Yeah. You can also have both. You can have if you want to have like a Yom Iyun, you can have 2 speakers taking subjects, and and explaining them, how it, makes the Mashiach reality, and then you can have part of this. It can be both, no? Does that make sense? Half and half? Like a little break.
Is there anyone that would go to one that wouldn't go to the other?
Not to have, the same thing. Not to have like 7 shiurim. Like to have 2 people, 2 rabbanim, like make it exciting. So you started off with a question. Then you have 2 people explaining maybe either about that or just whatever they pick or whatever we ask them to speak about to make Mashiach reality. And then you have again, person on the street, That should be something that keeps the person want to stay on. You know what I mean?
Can I ask a practical question? If I may, I'm sorry for trying to be practical. To go and ask people questions in this, need an individual with a camera, with time, and to stop and do it. Who exactly is going to do that? I'm not talking then taking it back to a studio and get it properly presented, etc., etc. I mean, are we talking?
No. So what I meant, what I was talking about was to ask the question.
You actually do. And I'm reading practice. I mean, these ideas are all wonderful, but are we equipped financially? Do we have the people, etc., to go out and do it? If we have, then the conversation is a very important one. But if we don't have neither the money or the people or the know, I'm not talking about the know-how. I'm talking just even about the people to go into the street and then bring it to the studio and then get the people to answer it. Is the Alter Rebbe Shetanya today says that Shabbos we're not allowed to talk about it.
So what I meant was he doesn't go with a video. He just goes with his phone. You don't need these days. You don't need fancy videos. You go with your phone. You talk you ask the person a question. You can go together. You use his phone. You can use, and the question can be answered in this game of if you want to call it whatever you want to call it. We have a name yet for it. That's not what I'm saying. You can either have them replay that small video with the phone that he took on the street, or just have the question played and someone else answers it on this Yom Eon. Nothing major that I'm trying to bring up. And I think he's ready to do that. He did that in the past. Rabbi Goldstein, Yisrael Goldstein.
If somebody is ready to do it, he's doing best to it.
And Isaac, you said you'll reach out to him, right?
Yeah, I have no problem reaching out to him.
Just
but
put an update on the chat, please.
Yeah, the shaila is we still don't have. I don't know if we should call it a Yom Eon because we want to maybe bring not only the fruma but also non-fruma on, or maybe not. Where are we holding?
I think that's a different idea. It changed the whole idea because it was originally not for the fruma. I mean, it's only for fruma.
I'm saying I'm just throwing out the idea. No, I don't know if it's back is in stone. Is the idea in stone or not? I don't know. Where's the Reuven? He left in the wrong time.
Yeah.
Adarabba, we can have the Ian of Achtos, which is the Ian of Hakel. You have the Fruma and not the Fruma together. Is that taka so bad? I mean,
it usually doesn't work out. Like the super frum, not going to join them. Like the yeshivish world and things like that. They're not going to join.
If you have some,
you can advertise it. You can let the not yet frum or the less whatever they're called. They can join it, but if you advertise that way, the fruma are not going to join it. They're too scared. That was what they said last time. I'm kind of repeating what we said. All right.